was just saying in the crossover, I think this is another difficult game for the Patriots. So as I continue to keep doing that, the Patriots keep winning. But I did think the Saints were a trap, and it was. It was. I know they won, but it was a trap. And we saw what happened. Even the refs were in on it. I thought last week would be difficult, more because of the loss for the Falcons, 31-10 to the Dolphins, and just having a good showing. And if you look at it, they did. So I feel like I've been pretty dead on when it comes to the Patriots as far as my preseason predictions. I'm going to lose 8.5 under Josh McDaniels stinks, Mike Vrabel's on. All those things I'm wrong about. But watching this week in and week out, this is a big one. Josh McDaniels talked about it this week as well. And I just think there's a lot of numbers here, and I'll give you them all. But really, the nuts and bolts of Patriots-Bucks is Ramondre Stevenson and Kayshon Boutte will not play this week. Say what you want, but Ramondre Stevenson's a great blocker, and Kayshon Boutte, when he came out of the game last week, the offense sputtered. How do they now play on the road with a different outside receiver at X and Travion Henderson, Jennings, whatever? How does it work on the road? Again, the Patriots 4-0 this year on the road. For the Bucs side of things, no Godwin, no Bucky Irvin, no Hakeem Reddick. So I've given you numbers on Todd Bowles, 1-8 lifetime versus the New England Patriots. If you look at him versus Mike Vrabel, he's 1-1. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers off a bye are 1-2. Off a bye is Todd Bowles. 1-2 with the Bucs, 1-3 with the Jets. That's 2-5 overall. And if you really want to dig into it, he's 3-8 as a defensive coordinator. I think Drake May could have some struggles on the road this week against that Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. Bucs defense, last 3 games, they've sacked the quarterback 15 times. And Drake May's been sacked 17 over the last 3 games. But just to back up some of those things regarding the Bucs, 6 of those sacks were against the 49ers. 4 of them were the Lions. 5 were the Saints. In their last 4 games, the Bucs defense has forced 10 turnovers. 2 versus the Seahawks, 2 versus the 49ers, 2 versus the Lions, 4 versus the Saints. 3 out of 4 of those quarterbacks, or if you want to say half of them, are very good. In the Bucs' last 3 games, where else do we have it? I got a lot of numbers on them. I'm probably going to bore you to death with them. But in the Bucs' last 4 games overall, they forced 10 turnovers. That's big. So sacks, turnovers, what are Drake May's biggest issues? Sacks and turnovers. And when it comes to those stats, okay, last year Drake May was sacked 9% of his dropbacks. 34 sacks, 372 dropbacks. This year he's been sacked 11% of them. 34 sacks and 289 this year. He has the second highest percentage in the NFL this season behind Lamar Jackson's 12. So he's getting sacked at a rate of Lamar Jackson. So when you look at quarterbacks this year that have been sacked in more than 10% of their dropbacks, yeah, you got Lamar and Drake, but the other ones are Cam Ward, rookie, Justin Fields, runner, Jalen Hurts, Brissett, Wentz. Last year, May had the 5th highest sack percentage in the league. And just these are some of the names when you think about where they're at this year or last year. Deshaun Watson, Will Levis, woof. Jalen Hurts, Caleb Williams, Drake May. Like, he is in that category. But the worst of them all, Lamar Jackson, 32nd in the league. That's where he's trending. Drake May has been sacked 3 times or more in 13 career starts. Or in 13 starts in his career. He's 5-8 in those games. He's thrown at least 1 interception in 9 of those 13 starts. Joe Math, 69% nice. He's lost a fumble in 7 of those 13. He's committed multiple turnovers in 6 of those 13 games. So when sacked 3 times or more, he's more likely to have a fumble or multiple turnovers. When he's sacked 2 or fewer times, he's 5-3. He has thrown an interception in 3 of those starts, and he's lost a fumble in 1 of the 8 of those starts. But he's committed multiple turnovers only 1 time in those starts. So generally, Drake May doesn't turn it over multiple times. The team's very successful. Have we talked much about the Patriots' defense this week? The Patriots have the worst red zone defense in the NFL. They allow opponents to score a touchdown on 75% of their red zone trips. What? What a weakness. Like, think about the defense, right? They're number 4 in the NFL in scoring defense. They're number 1 in rushing defense and yards allowed. And they're number 1 on 3rd and 4th downs. Yet, the worst in the red zone in the NFL, 75. So if you just get down there, you'll score 3 out of 4 times? Holy smokes. Not good, everybody. On the year, the Patriots have allowed 15 touchdowns in 20 opponent trips inside the red zone. Woof. It's worst in the league. One other thing I wanted to bring up before we get out of here on the Patriots. The Patriots will need to get off to a fast start. Tampa Bay this year, 5-0 in games when they've committed a halftime lead or when they have a halftime lead. They're 1-0 when they're tied at halftime. But when they trail at halftime this year, they're 0-2. I think that's where the Patriots have to capitalize this week. Fast starts. Get out to a fast start. Eliminate the running game from the Bucs because they're going to have Rachaad White again. Eliminate the running game. And I think Baker Mayfield can move. He can move. But I think you can defend it. I think he can. Overall, though, I feel that coming off that bye, being well rested, being undermanned, hearing about the Patriots going on the road, preparing for their short week coming up as well with the Jets on a look ahead. I just wanted to bring the same scenario up last night. Okay, and it's different a little bit. But the Broncos hosted the Raiders last night. Divisional game. Okay? Last night should have been the Raiders. If you're going to bet the game, it should have been the Raiders. You know why? Because Denver has Kansas City on the look ahead. Didn't it play out that way? It played out that way. Now, I know it's easy to say, come on, Joe, the Jets stink. Why would the Patriots be looking ahead to the Jets? Blah, 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 blah. I think they are looking at the Bucs. I think they also see that the Bucs can be a challenge. I think they want to meet that challenge. It's hard to win games like this in the NFL. Can they beat the Bucs? Absolutely. You know, the Bucs without 2 of their starting wide receivers is huge, but the Patriots are missing one of them. Both teams are missing their starting running back. So this is going to come down to the quarterbacks. This is going to come down to the coaching. All the intangibles, this game's going to come down to. Mike Vrabel, Drake May, they've met it. And Baker Mayfield has too. That's just why I think it's going to be another challenging game for the Patriots this week. If they're going to lose one, I think this is the one. If they lose this week, they play the Jets on a short week, they take care of business, and then they're on to Cincinnati. Get it? They'll probably have Booty and Ramondre Stevenson back then, and if they stay healthy, they'll be on a huge run to the playoffs. They win this week, though. Let's ramp up those MVP chants. Coach of the year, AFC champion. That's all on the table this week. It's all on the table. I just think this is the bad spot for the Patriots. So you can blame me and say, Joe, see, they beat the Bucs. I will tip my cap. I gave you the reasons why the Patriots can win the game. They can get out to a fast start, and their defense can take over and take away the running game. But I just think those sack numbers and what their defense is doing, those are the things that frustrate Drake May. And I think the Bucs can do that at home. Shorthanded, undermanned. I think they can do that this week. But this is why they play the games. So Patriots right now, 2.5-point underdogs. We'll see what happens before kickoff for that one. Feel free to call in on it, 617-779-0985. We're on YouTube as well. I did want to just touch on some Bruins, and we'll take you right up until the Celtics play in Orlando tonight. I have some numbers on that one as well. And I know everybody wants to know, I did make it in time for pizza. Now, there were 5 slices left. I took 3 of them. I ate 1 when I got here. I brought 2 to the back. River got 1. Somebody else ate the others. So I did not eat the last slice. But thank you to everybody that saved Sally's a pizza for me. I'm a happy camper. All right, we'll take a quick break. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Energy costs are rising. Take the power back with Boston Solar. With over 6,000 installations, they're New England's leading solar installer. Go to bostonsolar.us today for a free consultation and $3,000 off. Boston built, Boston trusted, Boston Solar.
Celebrate Thanksgiving with Whole Foods Market. Prime members get 365 brand frozen whole turkeys for $1.49 per pound through December 2nd. Serve this.
Baca got knocked down. Here's McAvoy bringing back out toward the blue line. 10 seconds to go. McAvoy down the right circle. Trying to get it in front. Off of the mark. They score! Pavel Zacha with the game winner. And the Bruins win it in overtime 3-2.
Bruins win last night, everybody. Trying to hit on everything before we hand things off to Grandy and Max. I'll get back to some Patriot stuff in a second here. I wanted to just give a quick update on the Bees. That was the game winner last night. So I know it's Friday night. You're kicking around. You're listening. Traffic sucks because I just sat 95 and it was horrendous. So I know you're listening right now, but I think you guys should give the Bruins a look. It's a different look now. The Bruins are. They aren't run by the players anymore. You know, the days of Bergeron, Marchand, just guys running the locker room, those days are over. They're over. It's Marco Sturm's team. It's Marco Sturm's team. He's taken over. He's trying things. He's playing younger players. He's changing up lines every night to see what's working, what's not. And if you're not buying into his system, he's going to bench you. And he's done it to Swayman probably. He did. He's done it to Lowry now. How many games in a row? And the team's just better, right? Middlestat took a benching. It's just, if you're not watching right now, they're probably not a championship roster, okay? I think we all know that, but they are exciting to watch. The games have been interesting. There's been games where they've been down big, come back, right? Last night, they had a 2-1 lead in the third period. Late goal happens. They're on a power play late. Goes into overtime with 5 seconds left, probably. 5 seconds left, 5.6. They won the game. It was exciting. It was a good game. There was a lot there. You know, you had Linus Ullmark in net on the other team. All I'm trying to say is it's a likable bunch that's trying hard, and, you know, they don't have the skill. But to me, I'm kind of locked in, and I'm rooting for them. Like last night, Charlie McAvoy, watching what he did on that final call that you just heard there from Ryan Johnston, he made the play. Like his ability, right? Offensive ability, getting out. He made the play. He was great defensively. They paired him with Zadorov. That's a good pairing right there. It's probably your most expensive pairing, too. But just things have been good, and I think they're worth talking about. They don't have the star power that they once did. Pasternak did little things last night, which he never would do before. Like guys like Andrew Peeke last night, big night for him. 2 assists. Sean Corrali had a goal. You got behind it because he did his leap that you remember him doing. The Bruins are 9-7. They won 5 in a row. They've won 6 of their last 7 games. Charlie McAvoy's been outstanding. Morgan Geekie also leading the charge. The big one here, though, is Jonas Korpisalo had 20 saves last night and had the game. They went back to him last night after Swayman won 2 in a row. He was great. The big question is, who's in net on Saturday night? I go back to Swayman. It's hockey night in Canada. He's had the time off. I go back to Swayman, but this is something that I don't know Marco Sturm will do. He could stick with Korpisalo because they play well in front of him. So just wanted to throw a couple of things out there regarding the Bruins and what's going on, but there's some insane numbers of how well the team is with Hampus Lindholm back in the lineup when he's out. They're just a much better team. And another thing I'll mention about the Bees, they've gone to 4 overtime games this year, and they've won them all. The Bruins used to be the team that lost with 5 seconds left in the game or gave up the late period goal and all that. There were things with the Bruins that you could have literally just said, of course that happened. And they were so good at times that you knew they were going to fail you. You don't feel that way with this team. At least I don't. So tomorrow night, hockey night in Canada. We got it here on the Sports Hub. Toronto Bruins. I'm interested who's in net. So I'll move on. I just think it's worth talking about the Bees. They're 9-7. They're playing well. I did want to look into the Tampa Bay Buccaneers schedule because I know everyone wants to get into schedule talk all the time. when it comes to these teams. Let's see. They beat Atlanta. They beat Atlanta by 3. Patriots won by 1. They beat the Texans by 1. They beat the Jets by 2. They lost to the Eagles. They beat the Seattle Seahawks by 3. They beat the 49ers by 11. They got smoked by the Lions, and they smoked the Saints 23-20. They have their bye week, and now they play the Patriots. They have the Buffalo Bills on deck. I should probably have mentioned that. They have the Patriots, Bills, Rams, 3 in a row. They got to win this one. We'll get into the Celtics in a second here before we hand things over to Grandy and Max as they play a back-to-back, or they play 2 in a row against Orlando. It's the NBA Cup. Are you fired up about that one, people? Maybe they can win the Cup. RJ is on the Cape. What's up, RJ?
Hey, Joe. Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think cracks obviously started to show in the Cleveland game. I mean, Garrett had like the game of his career anyone's ever had against us. And then you go back to next week, and, you know, I think Raheem Morris is kind of an incompetent head coach, and I thought Drake London and a few of their players really bailed them out. I don't think the offensive coordinator is good either. And, you know, they got after us in that second half, and they almost beat us on strictly talent alone. I think if it goes to OT, they might win. And now we're going on the road. I wouldn't like us against really a lot of teams in the league this week, and we're going against the Bucs. They're going to get after our O-line in a big way, I think. I think it'll be a humbling game, and I think it'll just be like one of those spots we had a bad game, and we'll bounce back.
Yeah.
But I do not like us this week at all.
And that's what I'm trying to say. I don't like the game, right? It's you got the Jets on deck, which I think is a more important game. I know they stink, but
I agree.
But
it's
important, right? You got to win these conference games. But I just mentioned the schedule. The Bucs have the Bills next. They can't lose to the Pats, lose to the Bucs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they got to stay in the race too.
Right, and they're playing a professional coach and a professional quarterback, and it's not a good spot.
It's a tough match.
Not a good spot.
Hey, they can certainly win, right? Both teams are 7-2 for a reason.
It's
just a tough spot.
Yeah, they go in, they turn the ball over a bunch. You never know, they could, but I think the Bucs would have to give the game away.
All right, man, appreciate you, Mike. Real quick in the truck. What's up, bud?
Hey, Joe. I just wanted to bring up the last time the Patriots played the Bucs. Mac Jones went toe-to-toe with Tom Brady.
And who won?
And I believe, well, the Bucs won.
Thank you. What point was he going to make, you think? Should I mention that when Cam Newton went against the Bucs, they scored 40 on them? Should I mention that? I didn't mean to hang up on you. We're just up against it because of the Celtics. I hope you're not upset with me. Speaking of those Celtics, everybody, they play in Orlando tonight. Notice these first 8 games versus the last 8 games. The Celtics are taking about 4% fewer three-point attempts. It's like they're taking fewer and making fewer. I don't know how that happens, guys, but that's what's going on right now. First 8 games of last year, the Celtics averaged 123 points per game. This year, they're averaging 110. What's going on? That's a 12.1 points per game difference. What could it have been, Skaz? 12 points per game? That seems like a lot to me. I mean, the first 8 games last year, first 8 games this year, what could it have been? Anyways, Derek White struggled. He's lowest points per game, rebounds, assists, field goal percentage, and 3-point percentage of his career. But you know what? Peyton Pritchard's doing it all. Long range, 2-pointer, assists. The Cup continues tonight. We'll have it for you here on the Sports Hub. I'll have you halftime and postgame till 11. Why don't we hand things over to Grandy and Max, the best in the business. I'm Joe Murray. Celtics basketball's next.
From Boston 98.5, the Sports Hub. This is Shaw's and Star Market Celtics Tonight. Download the Star Market Deals and Delivery app today.
Jalen, right-hand dribble into the paint, goes to Derek White, who steps back into the corner for three. Moving and grooving.
The Celtics are brought to you by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks, Amica Insurance, your New England Honda dealers, and by Shaw's and Star Market.
Jalen forces it up over C. No! He tied it! He did it! Jalen Brown from the corner with 5.6 to go. Kick out, open, Tatum steps to his left, three in the air, got it!
Big boy, step up at the right time, man.
And by Delta Dental of Massachusetts, Brex, your New England Chevy dealers, Town Fair Tire, and by Comcast Business.
Pritchard, half court, it's in the air. He got it! He did it again! Peyton Pritchard did it again!
And by your New England Ford dealers, Wendy's, Clinton Savings Bank, Blue Sky Restoration Contractors, and by your Boston area Lexus dealers.
Confetti guns shooting green and white confetti and making the most beautiful blizzard you have ever seen. The Boston Celtics are world champions for the 18th time.
Now, here's Sean Grante and Cedric Maxwell.
At the Kia Center in downtown Orlando, Florida, where tonight the Celtics off a dismantling of the Washington Wizards. Open of a 3-game road trip and a weekend baseball series in Central Florida.